Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm Kara. Today I'm sharing a super magical art project I've been working on. And 8 hand-painted wood cookies, each inspired with one of the witch's sabbats. Every wood cookie follows the colors, energy, and moods of the seasons, turning them into a tiny spell-infused ornaments for my pagan tree. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and let me show you the process of me bringing the wheel of life in ornament style. Starting off with first supplies, 8 wood cookies, some paintbrushes, a array of colors. I'm not quite sure all what I'm going to go with, but I am knowing that I'm going to play around with kind of a yellow going into the oranges into reds, etc. And then go into the seasonal colors for each of the Sabbath, pulling out the vibe of the each energy of the season. Now, some of these I had to go back as it dried and touch them up or lighten them up or darken them up. Now this one is going to be for Samhain, so I'm doing the orange. I'm going to bring in some black with this one around the edge. So the color did get a little muted, so I waited till that dried and then I touched up some more orange. Now I want to change my mind. I wanted blue first and I should have kept with it, and then I changed my mind and painted another one. I'm glad I had an 8th or a 9th discs and I went green. Didn't feel it, went back to the blue, but the blue one being a little darker, I should have lightened that up. I think I do later on. So here's where I'm second guessing and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do one of these just in case. Can always change my mind, go back to the blue, which I really hope I hope I do, because that makes more sense. So progressing the greens, and I also went with some teals, which I thought would be like I'm going with the teals here with the greens. And I thought that would give more of an Astara vibe. But after, it looks really cool, but after I let it dry, I just didn't feel it. So I am gonna rock in some other paints after it dries. Now this dries so quickly because wood is thirsty. It drinks up the paint quite quickly and you can get right in there. So here I am lightening up the green. Again, just mucking around. I know I'm not feeling it, but I'm liking the color. It's nice and soft. I'm gonna add more yellow with this one, and I have the teals, and it was just, I mean, I like them together, but I went back and went with the blue. So here's my Sabbat symbols, my pagan ornaments. And I'm going to sketch them on each one of these, and I'm going to do a little picture that for me that resonates, that'll go with this season. Now I didn't choose little pictures because I believe whatever each season would provide a memory for you. I'm just going to do some super easy drawings on each and then rock in some layers of acrylic craft paint. Now I'm going to bounce back and forth as things are drying, because sometimes I don't rinse out my paintbrush. I kind of go to the next color, do a little dry, and then I use the color again on something else as I'm doing here. So I'm going to play between Litha and Lamas, and looks like I'm on to Mebon as well. I'm gonna bring in a beautiful maple leaf with this one because I think maple leaves are so beautiful in autumn. They are absolutely breathtaking. Gonna bring in a cauldron here for Samhain. Just very simple. Bring in some grays for some highlights. Working that in, and I think each one is going to look really cool. I think I'm going to have a little bit of love on each and have the symbolism. This one is going to be Yule with the holly and the berries, which actually is one of the herbs of the Sabbats. And we're going to be adding in the symbols. We'll be outlining those later on. For now, we're just going to paint in. We're going to bounce around a little bit with these little crafts here, throwing down some highlights on the holly. And we're going to be outlining everything in black later. So you just don't have to worry about everything being so rightly perfect, because we're going to clean up any lines with your black liner pen. And I love my Sharpies, and that's what we're going to use for a liner pen. It's very quick, easy, and then we get a nice sharp edge. As long as you use a new one, it'll look really, really cool. Again, bouncing back and forth between things because I don't always rinse my brush. I go to the next color and the next color, so whatever I see fit, I'm going to use it up around me, so I'm not wasting any paint as well. Hard to see right now, but these are going to be some nice little sunflowers. These are going to pop out here in just a moment, and when I get in my black liner, it'll look really sharp. I love that light green. Trying to keep the same color scheme throughout so it doesn't get too off. Now feeling those, going back to the maypole. I have some richer colors in with the darker blues. Now this one, I think I had a little bit more of the aquamarine on some other ones that were close to it, so I decided to bring in some blues and bring in some of that violet color. Bring in some pink for some nice spring flowers. Gonna do some easy pink daisies. I don't know if daisies are pink, but they are today. And for our little season of the candle, this is where I can bring in my aqua colors and get that back in there, because I wound up changing my mind for the outer layer colors, so it was nice to rock that in. Again, just super easy, simple designs. Little centerpiece, and we're going to bring in just whatever excess color you last use for some shadowing on the candle. Bringing in yellow first, and then while it's still wet, I'm going to bring in orange, and then a little touch of red just right on top of that. There we go. And we're going to let that dry and just kind of meld in. Now, I wound up changing the colors of my eggs so many times, so I don't know. I should have just kept the green was just, I was losing the green egg at first. And then I kind of painted, he was a little big. And then I don't know, the colors I was just lost. So I was like, okay, let's go aqua. Nope, lost him in the background. So I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, he's now going to be purple. And now I have two purples and a pink. So let's make this blue now. Oh, I don't know. It might change again. We'll see how she goes. Let's just let that dry for a while. Bringing in some more colors into my maypole. It needed a little bit more oomph. And now we're going to bring in, now that these are dry, We're going to bring in our Sharpie, and I always like a fresh Sharpie, a brand new one, because the points are super tight. And now we're going to bring in our symbols. I love the power of Litha, the summer solstice. It's for abundance and the height of sun's peak. We have Lamas for harvest, gratitude, and preparation for August 1st. And May Bond is one of my favorite times of year because that's when my daughter was born. And that's for the fruits of labor, for gathering and sharing. And that's usually anywhere between the 21st to the 23rd. We just missed Samhain, and that's October 31st. Little transformation, astral, ancestral connection. Yule, of course, December 21st. Sometimes the 20th as well. Rebirth, renewal, light, a return to the light. Embolic for Bridget's Day, February 1st or 2nd. So a little candle for inspiration, spark of new beginnings. And Astara. I was born near Astara, the spring equinox. This is between March 20th and 21st. This is for balance, renewal, growth, rebirth. It's a time of fertility. Now I rushed my eggs a little bit here. They were still wet, so now I have to deal with my Sharpie getting a little paint on it. But next one is Beltane. That one's May Day. Some people say April 30th, kind of a Beltane Eve, but May 1st is traditional. Passion, fertility, connection. The time of the god and the goddess of celebration. Well, my friends, that's how I created my full set of 8 Sabbat wood cookie ornaments. A tiny little wheel of the year you can hang right on your tree, and then after you take down your tree, hang it in your home all year round. Each one carries its own vibe, its own seasonal magic, or take one out at a time per season. And honestly, this was such a grounding and fun project to make. I find painting so relaxing. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And my fellow pagan crafters, stay cozy, stay magical, and see you on the next one.